good morning again, of course. We have a couple of announcements I wanted to give in addition here. Jesus paid it all. Wow, we owe him, and that's a good thing. I'm so thankful that we owe him. And this is a terrible lead-in to this part, this announcement, but we as a church still owe money to a bank and to each other. But I wanted to talk about that because we have some very thankful things, just some things to be very thankful about, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The building loan here, when we had built this building, it's been 4 years ago. We used it for a lot of community events, a lot of this ministry work within this community, and with you guys as well. And when we started out, our original building loan was about $1.5 million, and that's a lot of money, right? We had held a special offering over the last month, 2 months-ish, and we were able to pay off $21,645. The finance committee here is wonderful. I'm just going to say that. Carolyn Charles is a big part of that, and Gary Gluckner. I cannot speak. They're awesome. I'm just going to say they take care of the financial end of things here, and I'm just glad it's not up to me. I'm just going to say that. And they do a wonderful job. We have, in the last 4 years, brought that loan down, and we are now at $990,000. We are actually under $1 million. And that, I'm just really thankful just to see that in the last 4 years. God is so faithful. I'm getting all emotional about it. So we decided, you know what, since we broke the $1 million barrier, we think that's a cause for celebration, and just for what God's doing here. And so afterwards, we're going to spoil your dinner just a little bit, and there's going to be some ice cream available in the foyer, so just to celebrate the fact that we've gotten under $1 million. So you have that to look forward to, so, stick around. All right. So I wanted to pass that on for you. Another thing I wanted to talk about was elder selection. We as elders, as well as our conference overseer, have been directing the process of selecting a new elder. And part of that was asking for your suggestions, and I thank you for your suggestions. With your suggestions, and then with the elder discernment, the elder group, as it was announced last week, we have asked Lou Tigness if he would be willing to serve, and he has agreed to do that. But now we would like to hear from you again, and your response is really valued. It's really important to us. We want to hear from you. It's a very important part of the process. And so I'm going to ask if Lou would come up in the meantime here. But if you have a mailbox out by the rest of the mailboxes, there should be an elder affirmation ballot in there, and then you can mark it, and you can give it to Mike Kelsch or Ryan Heimbach. And we ask that you do that by September 13th. I'll give you a few weeks to be able to do that. And we just want to hear from you. You guys, we are all part of this congregation, and so your voice is valued in that. Also, there are extra ones out there by the mailbox in case, for some reason, you can't find one in your mailbox, or you have that. So, I asked if Lou would just share, just very briefly, about where is that? After that, we'll go to Matthew.
So to kind of reiterate what Ben was talking about, one of the things that's really important to me is that you folks make an informed decision. And some of you know me from years past, some of you do not. So I'm going to do a brief overview of my experiences as it pertains to eldership. Hopefully I get to know you more on a personal level as time goes on for those who don't know me. For those of you who don't know me, I was an elder for about 4 years and serving with Doug Grable, who's the founder of North Street. I served about 4 years-ish as an elder under Darren Peachy, or with Darren Peachy as lead pastor, and I was part of the elder team that had invited Ben Hess to come and join us here at North Street. In 2015, I was asked to continue for another 4-year term, but I really felt like God was calling me away from leadership and away from eldership at that time. But I also really felt that at some point God was going to call me back into that role, and waiting for God's direction and God's timing. I kind of believe that's right now. Okay. There are some things I want you to know about me when it comes to my way of doing things, or my way of ministry or leadership, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to list a few of those things again, so you get a flavor of what you can expect from me, so to speak. I believe that's Jesus and only Jesus that saves. I believe that the church body is a family, not an organization, and that the only thing that we take with us is our relationship with God and our relationship with other people. I believe that a church's health is more important than its performance. I believe that the church operates out of a kind of a health paradigm, that people will be led. And I believe if it's a performance paradigm, then people can kind of feel like they're being used, which may not be the intent, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. I believe that the goal of the Holy Spirit is Christ-likeness in all of us, not just learning new things. I believe that people minister from who they are, out of our own character and our own spiritual walk with the Lord is what we minister out of. I believe that it is the truth that sets us free. Not my truth, not your truth, but the truth. Jesus is the one who sets us free. I believe that it's not what happens to us, but what we do with what happens to us that makes all the difference in the world. I believe that transparency builds and maintains trust. I believe that it's important to find ways that we all move forward together as much as we can possibly do so. I believe that my family is a key part of my ministry, and I try to keep my priorities straight. And I believe that love and grace always, always, always wins. It may take a little bit longer for things to develop, but I believe it's more healthy, and I believe it's more effective when love and grace is the key, and not anything else. And so I'm looking forward to working alongside Ben, Keegan, John, Mike, Derek, and Ryan, all of whom are good and godly men, all of whom have a deep love for the Lord and a deep desire to do what's best for the church. Not for themselves, but for the church. No fellowship can ask for more than that. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be here for a little while after church. Come on, say hello, or if you have any questions, concerns, whatever, please feel free to reach out. So, thank you.